Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris. I'm your host, and I just want to welcome you guys if you're new here. If you're not new here, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about a super important topic that is building off of last week's show, which was on an evening routine. Now I'm going to show you, since you're sleeping like a baby because all of you guys are putting into play what I taught you, right? Now I'm going to show you how to harness your mornings. When you harness your evenings, last week's show, and now you harness your mornings, this week's show, and you harness that energy in the morning, right? That's where life starts to change, okay? Today I'm going to give you four tips on a morning routine and exactly how to perform it, all right? Before I get into it, guys, please do me a huge favor. Smash that like button. Help YouTube pump this out to everybody else that's interested in how to optimize their morning. All right, let's get into it. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, let's go. Okay, guys, check it out. One might think it's ironic that I'm gonna start this show, the first step of 4, with the last step of 3 from last week's show. Okay, the last step, the third step last week, and we talked about the evening routine, right? And if you haven't listened to episode 107, go back and listen to episode 107 or last week's show, depending on what medium you're watching this on, podcast or YouTube. So last week's show, the third step was practicing gratitude for your evening routine. This week's show, the first step, as soon as you wake up in the morning, okay, to be able to win each day is to harness gratitude. There's lots of different ways to have a gratitude practice. The one I'm going to tell you about today is really simple to do. As soon as you wake up, all right, the key to your morning routine is don't get on your phone, okay? Because if you listen to last week's show, we said no screens in the bedroom. Again, if you haven't listened to last week's show, episode 107, on the podcast or last week's YouTube, check it out, all right? Don't get on your phone, get up, go into the bathroom, wash your face and or brush your teeth, okay? I like to wash my face and just talk about what I'm grateful for. I talk about I'm grateful for my home, for the roof over my head, for the pillow under my head, for the running water, for my dog, for my car, for it being really nice out when I go for a walk, for all of my customers. There's so many things you can be grateful for too, okay? And if you haven't listened to my show on gratitude specifically, okay, check out episode 40 on the podcast. It's going to explain to you what gratitude is, but fundamentally it's just being grateful for the things you already have in your life. Most of us tend to forget like how much good we already have in our life because a lot of us, including me, we're focused on what we want too. And it's cool to be focused on what you want, but it's also cool to be grateful for what you already have. And a lot of us, especially in America or where a lot of my audience is, like New England, okay, guys, we're doing a lot better than the majority of the world. And even though like Americans are considered middle class and normal, like the middle class in America is some of the wealthiest people to ever walk this earth. So having an apartment, having food in your fridge, having a bed, having running water in your, it's called the magic switch, okay? I know people who don't have these. I've spent time in countries that don't have these. I've lived in those countries. Having running water with a magic switch that turns on running water in your home, having a pet, having a car, a job, okay? Being grateful for those sorts of things is going to separate your mindset from those who are not. And the more you focus on gratitude, as soon as you wake up in the morning, the more good things that are going to come into your life. Okay, so first step is gratitude. Second step, what I really want you guys to understand is, especially if you're here trying to pick up tips on how to improve your life, okay? What you need to do is start reading. Coming from the kid in high school that you couldn't get to read a book and I didn't like to read, honestly, like I didn't even read the Cliff Note versions of the books we were supposed to read. I'm telling you, you could do it too. Like I was that guy who wouldn't or couldn't read. Many years down the road, I decided that I wanted to learn more, and the way that I wanted to learn more was reading. And here's the ironic part, like whenever I get other successful people in the room and we start talking about like things that we do, most have a morning routine and most read, regardless if it's in their morning routine or throughout the day, okay? And they're not reading like garbage. They're reading like history or self-development based stuff or business-based stuff or whatever they want to educate themselves on, okay? And if you want to do better in life, if you want to learn from those who have gone before us or you. It really isn't like your diet per se, like what you put into your body, isn't just limited to your food. Your food is technically your diet, but so is what you put into your mind. Be mindful of the food, of the thoughts that you're putting into your minds. One thing that I really liked to do was I always had the excuse that I didn't have time to read. So what I ended up doing was I started reading as soon as I woke up while I was drinking my coffee for about 20 minutes to a half hour. And that's when I would start reading. And that's what I still do many years later. And I really recommend that to anyone who might just turn on the TV when they wake up in the morning or just like sit on their phone or so on and so forth. This is a really good practice to have in your morning routine that you don't have to do for a half hour. You could do it for 10 minutes, but you're reading something light, motivating, and educational. And I really recommend this book, Dominate Your Day. It's actually not out yet. However, it's in publishing and we have a wait list for it, which might actually tell you a lot about a morning routine and an evening routine and a bunch of other really cool shit to turn your life from maybe where you are to where you want to be, written by me. So we'll put that wait list link. We have a wait list for the book in the show notes. We kind of recommend that book because it's pretty awesome. Or any other self-development based book. Hint, hint. Guys, listen, read your way to knowledge. Read your way to knowledge, okay? All right. We've talked about gratitude. We've talked about reading, okay? Realistically, this is when within the first 15 to 30 minutes of you being awake, you've already accomplished these two things, okay, guys? The next thing I'd highly recommend for your morning routine is something called meditation. Now, there's a lot of different ways of looking at meditation. There's a lot of different approaches of looking at meditation. I'm going to give you guys the short and sweet version, okay? There's so many ways to meditate. The key to meditation is being present and mindful with your thoughts, okay, in that moment. However you decide to meditate, okay? If you're a beginner, I'd recommend 5 minutes of a guided meditation. Meaning, go to YouTube, go to Headspace, it's an app, open it up, look for a guided meditation on whatever prompts you feel is important. Some of the prompts that I like and my students like are gratitude. That would really help, especially if you're learning gratitude. Abundance, prosperity, health. Be in a quiet place, sitting down or laying, no interruptions, okay? Laying down is what I prefer. However, sitting up is fine too. Put on a guided meditation for 5 minutes. Or longer, 10 minutes if you're advanced, 15, 20 minutes or longer if you really prefer. However, guided meditation isn't the end-all be-all, okay? That's just for beginners is what I recommend. Maybe if you're a little bit more than a beginner, maybe if you're intermediate, I would recommend doing visions and building the life that you desire through your mind. You're the architect of your mind. Anything you picture in your mind, you can hold in the screen of your hands, quote Bob Proctor, okay? There's a guy that if you need some inspiration on how to meditate or meditate to, I would highly recommend looking up Bob Proctor. But what he teaches is that anything that you desire in your mind, you can hold in your hands. And building those visions of what you want is the key, okay? It's not daydreaming. You're literally going to manifest what you desire. Visions is an excellent way to meditate. And the third way that I'd recommend meditating, maybe if you're a little bit more advanced, is a moving meditation, meaning maybe you're going for a walk, maybe you're going for a run, maybe you're stretching. You can also meditate while you're doing that. The key is just being present and mindful, guys, no matter how you attempt to do these things, okay? Just be present and mindful. Meditation has solved a lot of problems for a lot of people, and it's really helped me get past a lot of trauma in my life, and I really highly recommend it to you guys, especially if you were a dude like me that had like a short fuse and was just like angry all the time. Now I could probably count on one hand how many times I really get angry in a year. Right? Like you really, like I have to like, honestly, it happens if I'm sick or I don't feel well or I didn't sleep and or all of them. Like if I'm sick, didn't sleep and don't feel well, chances are I'm going to get angry. So I just isolate myself in my bathroom so no one has to deal with me is really what it comes down to, or most of the time anyways. I'm getting glared at right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Yeah. Oh, okay, I'm not wrong. But I'm cool with being wrong. Okay, so we've talked about having this morning routine, gratitude, all right? Gratitude as soon as you wake up, then reading. Now you're about, let's say, a half hour into your morning routine. Then you're going to meditate for 5-10 minutes. Now you're 40 minutes into your morning routine. This is your first 40 minutes of your day, okay? This is harnessing the purest energy that you have. The next thing that I'd recommend you guys do in your morning routine, if you can fit this into your day, is some sort of movement. If you have the time and you like to wake up super early and you enjoy the gym, eat and go to the gym, okay? If you don't have the time to maybe go to the gym, maybe going for a walk in the morning, like doing a walking meditation, or just move your body a little bit. Stretch, foam roll, even yoga. Highly recommend some sort of movement for your body. Anything is going to be better than nothing. I myself personally like to wake up, do my morning routine for about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on like how extensive my meditation is. Like sometimes my meditation is a half hour, so I'm on more of that hour and a half time frame. Then I eat and go to the gym. All right. I like to get all that stuff out of the way. So my morning routine is done by 9 o'clock, 9:30. Now I am able to give everybody else in my life my 100% because I've taken care of everything that I need to do to feel good. Like if I don't work out, I just don't feel good. Like I need to work out and I need to do my cardio and I need to walk my dog in the morning and I need to do my gratitude, I need to do my reading, and I need to do my meditations. And when I do those things, I feel like a king. And that's why I win. Now, guys, listen, I sit here and say I win. I do win, and I do win big. However, you just don't see me fuck up, okay? I'm just a little bit more ahead, okay? I've been in this 14 years. You don't see the mistakes that I made 10 years ago like an idiot, all right? I still make mistakes. You just don't see it. My mistakes are just at different levels, okay? So if you harness your evening routine and you harness your morning routine, you're going to start winning. And that, if we're winning together, that's the key. That's why I put this content out for you guys, so you can win too. I want to see you guys win too. And if you are winning, fantastic. Try to implement what I just taught you between this week's show and last week's show, and you'll just keep winning more and improve more. Okay, guys, that's what I got for you. All right, the point to this is I'm winning. I hope you guys are winning. Between last week's show and this week's show, if you put these practices into play, you are either going to be winning more or start winning. Regardless of where you are, winning is fantastic, and there's nothing wrong with winning. If you're winning, talk about your wins, show your wins, teach your wins, all right? Fucking flex, okay? Because if we don't flex our wins, The generation below us won't know what winning looks like. Let's fucking win together, and I'll catch you guys next week. Thank you for being here.